It's Tess. I thought I'd say hello to all my floss tube friends today. Is January 31st, the last day of January, and we here in Virginia have a snow day. Well, I guess a cold temperature day. We have no school, so I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to pop on and show you what I've been working on. I have so much. January, it was kind of rough in some ways, so I feel like I needed a lot of stitching time to make up for the hard things that were going on. But it motivated me to get a lot done. So I have like a pretty big pile sitting here next to me, and I'm excited to share. So how about you guys? Are you stuck in the snow? Freezing temperatures? I know compared to here, it's a lot worse in the Midwest up north. You guys are crazy cold there. I couldn't even imagine. Here, I think when I woke up this morning, it was 3 degrees above zero. So we didn't hit the negatives. There was a feel-like temperature in the negatives, so I guess there's that. But at least it gives us an opportunity to stay indoors and maybe get more stitching done. I don't mind that so much. I actually like winter. It's not my favorite season, but I don't mind it. I like the changes in season. That's what I like. So being off today, and we were off yesterday too, we were dreaming of warm tropical weather, and we booked a cruise. That's what we did on our snow day. I guess we were inspired by the cold. Wouldn't it be nice to go somewhere warm? We are big Disney buffs. We love Disney. Last summer we went to Disneyland Paris while we were in Europe. We got to visit the castle there. It was so fun. And we went on our annual Christmas trip this year with my sister's family. So there's 9 of us who go together, and it's crazy busy during the holidays, but we love it. We have so much fun every time we go. So we ended up booking the Disney cruise through the Bahamas next winter. It's December 30th is the day we leave, and we're going to be cruising over New Year's. So how exciting is that? I cannot wait. It's my first cruise, and I really don't know exactly what to expect. I mean, I can watch vlogs, and they give me a lot of information, but I don't exactly know what to expect. So if you guys have advice or tips for my family going on our first cruise, please leave them below. I need all the help I can get. It's a 5-day cruise. We're going to the Bahamas. I think we stop at Nassau, we stop at Key West, and then we stop at Castaway Cay. So it will be amazing. Yes. The only bad thing is that we have to wait 12 months. I mean, we're not leaving until the end of the year, so it's going to be really hard to like wait for that day to come. I wish we could have booked it in the summer, but summer we're already busy. I have plans for summer already, so it'll be great. Who knows, maybe we'll go back to Disney World this summer. That would be fun too. Anyway, looking forward to that already. That's gonna be a great trip. Let's see. So snow days were super crazy this year. Like, we've had so many. I think we've had, well, I don't even remember how many we've had, but there was a couple of weeks. I think this is the 2nd week where we've only gone to school maybe 1 or 2 days. We had a bunch of late starts one week, and then this week I haven't seen my kids at all yet. I was supposed to, we had school on Tuesday, but I had a meeting all day. I had a sub, so I didn't see him at all. So tomorrow I'm expecting us to go to school, and it'll be the one day I get to teach my kids this week, which is crazy, right? well, that's why I've gotten so much stitching done. That and magical stitching. We'll just say that. Let's take a look at what I have. I have some goodies from Christmas I want to show you, and my grandma gives me money. I'm probably the only 40-year-old who still gets a present from her grandma, and she sends me cash every year. She's the sweetest lady. And I feel so spoiled every time I get it, and I try to spend it on something silly or something fun. So I went to the stitching store this year and got a few goodies. So I've got that to show you. I was also gifted this beautiful gift from Secret Santa at work. I'm going to show you that first. So Secret Santa at work. Most of the people at work know I'm crafty, but I don't think that they know like I'm a super excited cross stitcher, and most of them don't know that I love Harry Potter, but this lady somehow figured that out and gave me the most amazing cross stitch patterns. It was a surprise. So the first one she gave me, it was in a little envelope, and it had a poem on the front that said, I can't remember what it was, but it was about stitching and crafting the days away. And oh, this one doesn't have a picture. You can see she's got them in these nice folders, and there's 4 of them. There's actually 4 different patterns in this little group here. Let me see, I brought my Kindle to show you the picture. Here it is. So it's 4 patterns, and they make up the, you might be a Gryffindor, you might be a Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw. Aren't they cute? It's the what the sorting hat says about all of them. So I thought that was really cool, and I totally want to stitch all of them. I have to stitch the Ravenclaw one for sure, because that's my house. I'm totally 100% a Ravenclaw. I got sorted into that house, number 1. But I'm a teacher. I love learning new things, and I love teaching other people new things. My last name is Wise. How could you be anything but a Ravenclaw, right? So we'll come back to that later, because there's some more to that story. The other thing my Secret Santa gifted me, which I'm still amazed by this thing, is huge. Look how fat this pattern is. Pages and pages and pages and pages. She actually printed this all in color, and it's a full coverage piece. And I have never stitched a full coverage piece, and I am a little bit nervous to take this on, but it's beautiful. Let me show you. This is called Time for Magic, and it's got the castle with the moon behind it. Beautiful owl, the book, and the glasses. Isn't that amazing? Like, I don't know, is so pretty, and I've always wanted to do a full coverage piece, but I'm still nervous as heck to start this one. She didn't only give me this, she also gave me a box for all my threads and the stickers that go with it, and the entire piece of Ada to stitch this on. I was blown away by her thoughtfulness and her kindness, like to go out of her way to talk to my friends and figure out what I would actually enjoy doing, and then to get something that's so beautiful. Oh, it was so thoughtful and kind. I am floored by that. So I have those in my stash now. I'm kind of excited about it. And then I went to my local needle shop, which is In Stitches in Alexandria, Virginia. And I picked out a few new things. Now I already have the goat load, but I also picked up the llama lump, which is just a little pile of llamas with some snow and trees. Isn't it cute? I love this one. I picked this one out. My daughter's friend is from Peru. So her and my daughter love llamas, but I think I might stitch this for their family and give it to them as a little gift. I can't wait. It's so cute. Another pattern I picked up was this one. This is Home for the Holidays by Sue Hillis Designs. I know I've seen this a lot online, and then when I saw it in real life, I had to have it. I'm a sucker for those red trucks and the little wagon and the campers. I think some of these designs would be cute, switching out the red too, like to a teal or turquoise maybe. My dad used to have a big old dump truck that looks just like this one, but it was turquoisey green. It was really pretty. So I may stitch some of those in green, but super fun. My daughter was with me when I went shopping, and she helped me pick out this one. We were in London last summer as part of our Europe trip, and this is kind of a nice little memory of that. We saw all those sites, of course, and she's one of those fandom girls. She loves Doctor Who, and so I think I'm going to add a little Doctor Who TARDIS somewhere here, maybe, just to have a little whimsy in there. Maybe she'll even help me stitch it. And then the main reason I wanted to kit up the goat load piece. So here's what that looks like. And I'm planning to stitch this as my first floss tube stitch along with Emily C for her birthday. And I changed mine up a little bit. I like the darker colors. They were pretty nice looking, but I didn't really want to use like a brownish or tan fabric. I wanted something a little brighter. So I spotted this in their fabric section. And this is beautiful, like light cornflower blue. I love it. I had to get it when I saw the name because it's called Vintage Mount Baker Blue, which for me, me and my husband both grew up in Washington State, and Mount Baker was somewhere we'd go camping in the summertime. So we both have a connection to Mount Baker, good memories from our childhood. And Mount Baker is still really prominent when we go home for summer. That's where we're going in June. We'll probably definitely be seeing Mount Baker. So that's exciting. That was the color I chose. And then I chose some different flosses to go with it as well. Nothing too crazy different, but I ended up with some brighter pinks and some different, just brighter pink. No, I guess the pink might be the same. Brighter greens though, for sure. And a brighter red and a prettier yellow. Well, not necessarily prettier, but just different than what was called for. So here's what I'm working with. And they're just weak dye works and a few classic color works, but that's going to be my color scheme for the goat load, which I can't wait to start that one. Now that it's all kitted up, I am ready, and I wish I could start it right now, but I will be nice. I will be good and wait until March 1st. I think that's all my shopping. So let's chat about magical stitching for a minute. I joined the magical stitching group online as a recommendation by my friend Stephanie, Miss Oh So Crafty. She told me about it at our last meetup in Fairfax. Us Northern Virginia cross stitchers get together every so often. And before I even left, I think I was sitting there stitching, I signed in and joined the group while I was still there. So I was super excited about it. Of course I'm going to join. I love Harry Potter, I love books, and it's all about stitching. So I popped in, and I think I was maybe a week behind from the beginning. So I missed a couple weeks of homework, but that's okay. So the first thing you have to do when you join Magical Stitches is get sorted into a house. And they send you a little form, and you check which one is like your preference. So of course, Ravenclaw is my number 1. I picked Gryffindor's 2, threw in Hufflepuff 3, Slytherin 4. I'm not a Slytherin. I do my homework. I follow the rules. I'm a good girl. I'm a teacher. You know, that kind of thing. I'm not Slytherin. Well, guess what I got sorted into? Slytherin. So for the first time in my life, I am putting little green snakes by every post, and I'm into it. Okay, I'll be a Slytherin. But I think they had something up their sleeves because they knew I was not Slytherin, but they put me in there anyway. I think they're getting all the good people they know who are going to do their homework, all those Ravenclaws who are into homework, and putting them into Slytherin so that Slytherin wins. What do you think? Think it could be possible? I don't know. Seems kind of Slytherin-y though, doesn't it? At any rate, I am enjoying being part of the Slytherin house. They're a fun bunch of girls and guys, and they seem to all really enjoy the challenges. So I'm enjoying it too. This week's homework was detention, which meant I had to pull out my least favorite whip. And I did. This one was so least favorite. I have two that I don't even count them in my whips when I write them out, because I write my whips out every month. I don't even count these guys anymore because I hate them so much. Let's see, maybe next time I get detention, I'll throw that one in. But this one was actually one I started 2 manias ago, so I guess 2017. And I did not get very far on it when I started it. It is Quakers and Quilts by Rosewood Manners, which is a beautiful piece. It's lovely. So I actually, when I started it, I only had the N done and a tiny bit of the M next door. So it was barely anything. This was something I bought on Stash Unload, and part of the reason why I didn't like it was the threads. So the fabric is Mellow by Picture This Plus, which is a really nice color. This one had a lot of fuzz on it, like lint. There's a lot of lint on it, so I keep feeling like I have to pick it off. And then the threads are Valdani, but they're the Valdani cottons, which I have never used before. But they're beautiful colors. They're really rich, and I like the variegation on them. They're just beautiful. But stitching with them is kind of funky. Like, they're kind of rough. I guess if I use thread conditioner, that might help, but it seems like a pain in the neck to do the whole thing with thread conditioner. So when I started it, I know I messed up the end, because the length of thread that I had cut should have stitched more than just an N, but somehow it didn't. And then when I went back to start on it again this time around, I actually had to frog out the N altogether because it was stitched wrong anyway. It was short 1 stitch, and I mean, every letter in there would have been short 1 stitch. It would have looked ridiculous. So I had to frog it and start the N over anyway. So detention, we had to do 300 stitches on this project. I think I did a little more than that, but it's looking pretty good, and it's making me like it a little more now that I got to stitch on it, and I didn't frog anything but that little M, but I've gotten a few of those middle letters done, and all of this band right here, this little motif is finished now. So that was kind of good. I did end up writing it on my list, so maybe it will come back out and play again. I did look ahead at some of the February extra credit for magical stitching, and there was some that this could qualify for, so who knows, it may come out again. All right, so that's what I did for homework this week. And since that didn't really take me that long, and I have all these snow days, I've had a lot of stitching time. I started working on some extra credit. So the first extra credit, well, I'm working in backwards order, so this is the latest one I finished. You had to stitch on a piece with the name of the piece was part of the letters in Sorcerer. So I chose this Christmas jar ornaments for the sea. Let's see, is it gonna focus? There it is. And I was working on this little green guy here. Yeah, this little deer, he's so cute. Now I pulled this also out for homework last week, and so I've gotten quite a bit done. I started this on our trip to Disney World in December. So I only had a little bit done, and then I worked on more of it for the last homework, and then this is where I'm at now. So you can see I've gotten quite a bit of the jar done. You can see where the little deer goes there. There's a tree here and a tree here, so that will be fun to fill in. I tried to get like all of the bigger pieces done, so lots of that green and the white down here. It's easier to count those stitches, so I did what I could. But I can't wait. These little jars, like the ornaments in general, are super cute, all finished, but this plastic canvas is a little bit of a pain in the butt to stitch on. I feel like my fingers hurt a little more. Just, I've stitched on it for a couple days now, and it's so painful. Not really, but you know what I mean. It's not as easy as going through fabric, so I think I'm gonna put this away for a while and work on something a little easier next. Another homework, since I had time, I got out, it was a designer that started with a letter in the word stone. So I picked up a Silver Creek Samplers. I've been wanting to work on this one. I haven't pulled it out since last year. And it's Through the Storm by Silver Creek Samplers. And it's one of my favorites. I picked it up as a wedding sampler for me and my husband. We're from Seattle, so of course rain is dear to us. It says, no relationship is all sunshine, but two people can share one umbrella and walk through the storms together. So I think it's kind of cute. And I had to do 500 stitches on this one for that challenge. And I got quite a bit of it done. Let's see, this is 32 count Picture This plus pewter, which is like my favorite fabric of all time. And you can see I have almost all of the words done. I think I just have through to add here, and then I'm down to the bottom piece there. So I think last time I may have had those 2 rows of words and then the cloud with the sun. So I did all of this, and then I filled in some of these little raindrops too. So next time I grab this one out, I think I'm going to fill in the raindrops some more and maybe start on the umbrella, just so I can break up the words a little bit. The words are so fun to stitch, and they're quick, but I know I got to get some of that coverage done in the other side. Otherwise I'll have to finish it and it'll all be that. It'll be boring. And the last January extra credit I was able to squeeze in. I was supposed to watch Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone movie and stitch on a piece at the same time. So I hadn't pulled this one out since fall. This is my Main Street project. It's the first in 5 series. I'm stitching them all in a row. And this is the post office. Isn't it cute? I love the little mailboxes. And you can see I've gotten quite a bit farther than the last time you saw it. You can see I had the vines and the clouds and then the roof, I think, done. So I've gotten down past the shutters now, and I'm going to be moving into kind of that stripy area and down to the window. So fun stitching from there. I think that'll be fun. I'm using the called for threads and the called for fabric on that one. Before that, so that was this week. That's what I've been working on, detention and extra credit. And last week we had a really fun challenge. We had to find the Sorcerer's Stone, which I love. I love that they have little, so themed, you know what I mean? It's cool. So I worked on, first we had to meet Fluffy. And we had to work on an animal project. So I don't have any with dogs. I had to pull out an old kitty cat one. So this is Hocus Pocus by Prairie Schooler, and I think I showed you this when I finished the top half. So I started this little kitty guy. And we only had to do 100 stitches. I think I did a little more than that, but you can see I got that cat head started. That's all new down there. So it's fun. This one is a fun one to stitch. I love the fabric. It's pewter again, my favorite. And I'm using over dyed threads. So the variegation is really fun to see all done. The black's not very much fun, but what can you do? There's a lot of black. It's Halloween. And then after that, we had to go through Devil's Snare, which I used the jar with all that green around the edges. That was for that piece. Next we had to, what was it? Was it Royalty or Keys? I think Keys came first. Royalty was Wizard's Chest. That came next. For both of those, I pulled out my giant Harry Potter, which, guys, this is getting close to being done. I'm so excited. I worked on a bunch of these things. So for Royalty, I worked on the Weasleys. I know they don't really go in it. I had to do double stitches because they didn't fit the theme. And I did the letters down here. I also did, for the metallic part, we had to do keys. No, the keys meant metallic. We had to do metallic threads or something metallic. So all these little motifs right here and on this side are all metallic thread. So they have a little sparkle in them. And that's what I worked on. I was luckily right at the right spot for that. So I only had to do 100 stitches. But you can see I have a couple of Weasleys to fill in there. And then there's a row of Death Eaters, I think, and some other little motifs. But these are the last of those. I think I have to just round the corner here on both sides with my house colors. And I will be done, right? So I'm really excited about that. Maybe you guys can help me with this too. So up on the top, I left out the little wings right here. There's two on each side, I guess, right here. And they were white, but I really didn't want, they looked funky to me, so I didn't stitch them, and I don't know what to do now. I think at the time I had some ideas about doing metallics in there, but I don't know if I want to do that either. So if you guys have any good advice about how to stitch these little guys, or maybe just even to leave them out, let me know what you think about that. I need to start stitching the bottom ones, but I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with that. So maybe you guys will have a good idea for me. So that was 2 of the challenges last week. And then the last 3, that was Troll, your biggest project. And then Potions, most challenging project, or something that tricked you or puzzled you. And then the one you love. I chose my favorite project that I have, my Big Red Ship, and it kind of checked all of those boxes. So I was able to work on it quite a bit last week and ended up finishing quite a bit of the horse. So you guys I don't know, I think I always feel like you know where I'm at. But maybe you don't. Maybe you've never seen my video before, and I don't come up here very often, so even if you have watched a video, you may not remember what this looks like, or why it's my favorite. So This is my Big Red Ship of Life project by Ink Circles, and I have been doing it in an ombre. I started at the bottom with blues, and then it's working into purples. Next I'm working into reds. So this is what it looks like all together. Can you guys see it? It's beautiful. I just love the way everything is coming together with this one. Every time I work on it, I remember how much I love it. I haven't worked on it since October. So getting it out, I was right here in this area. And let's see, needs to focus. So I had gotten these little warriors done, and then you can see where my line for the last color was. That's where I started with the horse. So I finished all of the horse and some of that new kind of darker red slash fuchsia, I guess. Dark fuchsia. I don't know what to call it. But those are the ones I did. That's what I worked on for this challenge. So I got a lot done. And you can see I'm getting really close to the edge of those two lines. So I might be breaking this one out again sooner than later. I just love it. It's always fun to stitch on just because of all the little motifs, and it's like there's a new thing around every corner to look at. I'm using Fiberlicious silks for this. So here's what the lavender looks like. So pretty. And then this is that dark fuchsia color. So those are the two I'm on now. And then my next colors are, let's see here. Right here, I've got some kind of pinky reds. So some lighter fuchsias, then some nice pinks, and it's going to go into red next. So those will be fun to stitch, right? Oops, I forgot to put that back in. Yeah, this one is just, it's a joy to stitch on. I love watching the progress, and the color changes are probably my favorite thing. But yeah, I love it. And then lastly, I guess going back, like I did a little bit of Harry Potter work for the homework before that. And then I stitched, I know what I need to show you. I forgot, I actually finished my homework from the week before. That's why it's in my finished pile here. I had a new year, new start. And that was the Autumn ABCs by Little House Needleworks. I love these patterns. They're so cute. This is the first one I've gotten, and I think I might get more. I love the winter one. That's the one that's catching my eye right now. So I may end up picking that up next time I go to the LNS. And it was a quick stitch, and it was really fun to stitch. So I started this January 1st, and I finished it 2 weeks ago. So it was my homework for one of the challenges. I can't remember. But you can see it was all so fun. Got the flowers and the scarecrow, little pumpkins, and the quilt, which I think might be my favorite, the leaves, and then the little house and the bird and the branch. I used all the colorful colors on this one. And the fabric, I can never remember the name. I lost the tag to this one. But it's kind of a sandy colored printed fabric. So it's got the modeling on one side, but it's not on the other side. So whatever fabric does that, it's the lighter one of that. But I love how it turned out. It looks great with those colors. And I think I'm gonna want to do the next one too. So, and then before I started that, this is what I worked on in December. I didn't do a lot of stitching because December was crazy. It was overwhelming. That's what it was. That's why I'm trying. It's nice to have a January where I can catch up with everything. This is Silver Creek Samplers Christmas list. My Christmas list, I think it's called. But it's so cute. It's so cute. And I've really been enjoying this. I'm about halfway done, maybe a little more than halfway. So I'm down to there. I got the peace bird filled in. I'll just look at a little bit at a time. I love that truck and the turkey and the sweater. Down here with the hot cocoa and cookies, and there's the bird. Peace and goodwill. So I stopped here on Old St. Nick. So he's going to be where I start again when I bring this one back out. And I'm using the called for colors. The fabric is Picture This Plus Crystal Sand. So it's got a nice sparkle to it. See it? I love Christmas projects with sparkly fabric. I don't know, but I feel like they kind of go together. But I've really enjoyed that, and this one will be fun to get out again too. So those are all the things I worked on the last month. I did have a finish. I should show you that. So this I finished probably last summer, but I didn't actually FFO it until winter break. When I finally had time, this is my Pie of the Month Club. Isn't it cute? And I am not the originator of this tart finish. I saw this on the Pumpkins Instagram page. I think one of their fans had finished it and they had painted it pink, and it was so cute, like I died. And of course I ordered the tart from Amazon right away. It was really easy to do. I'm going to show you the back. It's ugly. It's one of those tart pans. It came this color, so it's a light silver color, and I spray painted it with black chalkboard paint. And I put a little subtle bit of white paint around the edge just so it kind of looks like chalkboard. Really subtle. But you can see I just glued it in there. I did put some batting under it, so it's a little bit puffy. This thing pops right out, so you could pop it out and in. It made it really easy for framing this guy right here. I just wrapped the frame on the bottom. I wrapped my piece around the bottom and I tacked it down with some glue and then tacked that whole thing back in there. So it was really easy. I also did like a whip stitch. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's white, but it's a whip stitch all the way around the edge and tightened it up, and that's how I kind of got my placement just right before I actually glued it in. So it was so cute though. I love it. I actually put this in my kitchen and I put it right next to my my light switch so that I can see it every time I walk in my kitchen. When I turn my light on, all these sweet little pies just smile at me, and it makes me totally happy. This is on that same cashel sparkly fabric, so I love it. Not cashel, crystal sand. That's what it's called. And I used call for colors for that. I actually bought the kit. That was the fabric that came with the kit too. So this one was so fun to stitch. It made me happy to stitch all the pies with their little smiles on. Love it. So that's what I've been working on. I got quite a bit done. I am so proud of myself because I am one of those stitchers who only stitches one thing at a time. That's not true. I usually have 2 projects going on at a time, and I work on them for like 2 weeks at a time. And I usually get a big chunk of one thing done before I move on to another piece. So to work just 100 stitches or 200, it was a little tricky for me, but I actually feel like that kind of motivated me to do more. So it was fun to see the progress that I did get done thanks to magical stitching. I love it. I love it. I have a few plans for next month. Let's see here. This is just my little book for the year. You can see I have my January goals here. I have my whips listed here. And then I usually put new starts and finishes on here too. And then on this side, I have notes of everything that I worked on. And then this is just my notes from my video today. So I didn't want to forget anything, but it's nice to have all this up here. So my plans for next month, I always write the same plan on there. I always write finish Harry Potter sampler. I know, I've been working on it for, that was my first Mania start in 2016. So it's been almost 3 years since I started it. It is a huge piece, and it's one that I get bored of easily because of all the little people. They're all the same. So I can't work on it all the time. But now that I'm close to the bottom, like I only have a couple more rows down there, I really feel like I could finish it. My goal is to finish it before May, but I'm gonna keep adding it to my goals list every month until it is done. So I wanna work on Harry Potter. I would like to work on Through the Storm is on my list, but we'll see how that goes. I may change that to something else. Magical Stitching Homework is on here. I really hope to keep up with it. And then my new start, which is, I think I might start something new every month this year. We'll see. I already know I want to stitch Goat Load in March with the Emily C. Sal. And was there something I wanted to do in April? I can't remember. Well, I could pick something. But I like new starts. New starts are so fun, and they motivate me to pick up something I haven't done yet. So I like that. But I have two I really want to start, but I probably will just pick one of these. So the first one is a little small. It's Country Cottage Needleworks Christmas Cookies, and I love it because the bowls remind me of little Pyrex bowls. And I love Pyrex. I collect Pyrex. I like to go thrift shopping and find good deals on it. So that's on my list. And the other one is a little larger, but it's a nice wintertime piece. And like today would be a great day to start this, being a snow day. This is called Winter Circle, and it's an older Cricut collection piece. But let's see. The snowmen are really cool looking. They have their winter gear on, all their fancy clothes. They're so funny. But I think it's a really pretty piece, and I think it would be fun to stitch it with a lot of metallics. So I've already chosen my fabric for this. This is Mint by Picture This Plus. It's a nice bright turquoisey blue, minty color. Love it. And I also picked up some of this, which I don't know if I got the right thing. So if you have tips on this Petite Treasure braid, this is silk lame braid, and it's the sparkle in it, but it's also kind of shiny. So I thought that might be fun to stitch snow in, maybe the snowflake in the center or the actual snowman. So I have that, and I think that would be a fun one to start too, since it's kitted and ready to go. So those are my ones I'm looking at for a new start. I don't know, we'll see. Other than that, I'm thinking about maybe hitting my LNS's shopping. They have Super Bowl Sunday. They do a sale. So that's exciting. I might go see what I can get on sale on Saturday or Sunday this weekend. And then the, excuse me, the extra credit work for February has already been posted, and there's some funny ideas, some funny challenges that I'm going to have to figure out what exactly I'm going to stitch for those. So that's on my list of things to do next. as far as plans go. But I guess first thing on my list, I gotta clean up this mess so then I can stitch some more, right? I know this is, I think, my 4th video, and my goal is to try to not be so awkward. I feel like some of my awful first 3 videos were just dorky, and I don't know, I haven't uploaded, like I've made some videos. I made a couple like 2 weeks ago. I made one, I made one last week, and I didn't upload them because they were super dorky. So I'm just gonna upload this one and say that I am an awkward person in person and on the internet. So if you see me posting, just know I'm awkward. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But I feel like if I just practice some more and just keep doing my videos, maybe they'll just get better as I go along. I'm hoping. Yeah, because I don't know. It's just weird. So gotta get used to it. I so enjoy watching your videos though, and I just want to be part of the same community. I feel like you guys are all my friends already, and even though I've never talked to you, except, well, I've talked to a few of you. I don't talk to you guys though, but it feels like I know you, so I gotta put my little personality out there too so you guys can all know me, right? Anyway, I hope that you guys are enjoying your day wherever you are. Hopefully you're not freezing in that -50 below. Or if you are, I hope you're getting some good stitchy time in. I will see you again in February, and hope you have a great one. Bye!